All right, we're back. Bob Pompeani, Chris Mueller. It's time for our number one Cochrane Go One Better call of the night. Matt and Butler is our first caller tonight. Chris, go ahead, Matt. How are you?
Hey, guys, I have a question. I just don't understand this. I think I heard this today. I got to confirm this with you. Baker Mayfield does not get traded. And I know that's kind of maybe still unlikely, but if he has to get cut by the Browns, then whoever he goes to can sign him at a minimum because the Browns have to pick up the rest. And it hits the salary cap. Is that true? So if somebody signed Baker to the minimum, which is $1.2 million or whatever it is, the Browns would get hit with the other 17 point some $17 million.
I think that is correct. I think whoever signs him doesn't have, or not obligated at all to deal with any of the previous contract, Chris. So that would make a lot.
The Browns picked up that fifth-year option. I mean, they picked it up, so they're on the hook for it one way or another. Yeah. You sign Baker Mayfield, you're making your own deal with him. And all that Browns dead money is already spoken for them. They've got to deal with that. But, yes, it's one of those quote-unquote no-risk potential reward situations. But, come on, this guy's damaged goods. He's a complete mess. The health last year was bad, the attitude. I mean, all of it just is a poison pill, it looks like right now.
Plus, they have other things. They've been putting too much time and research into this class, and probably next. They also have a guy they just signed. So they're not really in the market for a quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how this thing plays out and where he ends up, because right now it is a bad situation in Cleveland. Let's go out to Big Al in Robinson. Hello, Big Al.
What's happening? Hey, Chris, I wanted to tell you, you and your buddy John, you guys are the best on the radio. You make me laugh. You talk about every subject. You guys are the best. You got Big Al's award.
Big Al's award.
Thank you, Big Al.
Hey, Bob, ask you a question. 64 years I've been going to Pitt games. I'll be 78 in April. 64 years. Right now, they reached the lowest point of all time. How in God's name, you explain to me, can this guy get an 8-year extension in the weakest division in college football? And by the way, tell him to take Jeff Capel with him. Please explain to me how he deserves it.
Well, because he just won an ACC championship, and because if you look at the wins that he has, when you compare to other coaches in this conference, and by the way, they have 4 new coaches coming in, I think Patnarduzzi is in a very good position right now. And they've waited for this to reach this point. It hasn't happened in a long time. And I think they're okay with how things are going. I don't think Pitt is ever going to be in Alabama or one of these teams like Ohio State where you're getting all these top-notch recruits. But one thing that Patnarduzzi has shown is that he could still recruit guys who may not be the 4 and 5 stars, but he can pick up guys who are not in that range and turn them into something good, Chris. So I think there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Pitt fan here, given the fact they will yearly contend, I think, for this ACC Coastal.
Big Al, don't take this the wrong way. I like everything you said nice about the PM team, but what do you want from him? The Western Michigan loss stunk. I get it. Like, we were all disappointed about that. So did the Miami loss, but seriously, what did you want from them? I mean, they went 11-2 during the season, and if their starting quarterback wasn't getting ready to be a first-round pick, I'm willing to bet they would have beaten Michigan State and possibly comfortably in the Peach Bowl. Like, if not now to give Patnarduzzi another big extension coming off the best season in 40 years for the program, when exactly? Like, this I guess might, I don't know, upset people who didn't look at what the program was between this year and 1982, but this is how business is done in college football.
Right. And like I said at the beginning, really, it is what it is. He can leave whenever he wants based on buyouts, depending on if they agree to that. So, or, kids can come and go as they please, too. So not a lot has changed. It's optic to me more than anything, but he deserves a pay raise based on what they did. Let's go out to Jeff in South Park, who joins us right now on the Sports Call. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, guys. How are you?
We're good.
First time talking to you, Bob. I've talked to Mulsey quite a few times.
I appreciate you calling.
This is PM team number 1 caller, Jeff, in South Park, Bob.
Yeah, I'm dipping my toes.
I thought
in
Al was that
here.
guy.
Yeah.
No, Jeff has been the number 1 PM team caller for a long time.
All
Big
right.
Al's got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of fans on the PM team, Bob.
I know, and so Jeff is one of the leading candidates there. But, Jeff, what's on your mind? Go ahead.
So I was doing some pony level of nerd math earlier today because I was bored. And I was figuring out, based off of Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin's points per game rate, what they would score extrapolated over an 82-game season. And Sid is at an 103-point pace, and Gino is at an 88-point pace. And I'd like to point out that in Sid's rookie year, he scored 102 points in 81 games, and Gino scored 85 points in 78 games. So they are right there. That is astounding to sustain that level of play at their advanced age, and I just appreciate them.
I think you should appreciate them because they are playing at a very high level, which gives you hope, that this could be a good playoff run. And you also have to look at the next 3 to 4 years and say, is that window still open? And if it is, you got to sign guys. You got to make tough choices because Brian Rust, if you look at his points per game, you might be really astonished to find out what he's doing over there, especially goals on average, Chris. So that's going to cost some money, and it depends. We had this discussion today with Cook and Joe about, if you're Brian Rust, how do you look at this situation? Because you got to say to yourself, yeah, I can go to another team and I can cash in big, but I won't be playing with Sidney Crosby or Evgeny Malkin. I have two guys who I play with, and they bring out the best in me. Is it simply a money thing?
Brian Rust is not a generational talent. He should take as much money as he can get on the open market. You've got to look at it as a businessman if you're him. He's been a part of 2 cup-winning teams. Go get paid. As far as Malkin and Crosby and their numbers, well, the numbers don't lie, Bob, and they spelled disaster for the Penguins trying to keep everybody happy when it comes to this offseason as far as Malkin, Rust, and Letang. Letang, of course, having a great season. One more thing from Josh Yohe, I think he tweeted this out. Crosby, 17 straight seasons he's clinched, averaging at least a point a game. Gretzky's got the record at 19. That's a fraudulent Gretzky record, as are many of them, because he woke up for the entire decade of the 1980s. He got out of bed on game day and already had a point and a half because of the nature of hockey then. Crosby just getting to 17 in this era of the sport is the most impressive streak in that particular department.
Well, the one thing I'll say about future monies is I think Malkin has gone on record saying he would likely take less. And, you also have other free agents to deal with. And one of them is Ricard Raquel, who scored his first goal yesterday. And you wonder, they like to keep everybody, but there got to be choices made. We'll talk more about that. We're due for a break. We'll take it. We got more calls on the way. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh CW.